everybody. I'm going to start the meeting, so if you would kindly.
We lost you.
I'm coming. Hold on.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'd like to welcome everybody that's here in person and all our Zoomers. I am the president of the day. And for those that aren't aware of it, our president, Kristen Poffenberger, is on maternity leave, and she's very busy taking care of baby Lenny. So we're all kind of filling in. Special welcome to everybody on Zoom, especially our speaker today, Mayor Abrams, and those others. I'm going to change this around a little bit today. Take this off. I'm going to change this around a little bit today. Mayor Abrams has a important Zoom meeting that starts around 7:30. With
this is an important Zoom meeting too.
It's great to see you.
So I'm going to change things around a little bit. So this morning, I'd like to do some of the introduction stuff. We will move to Mayor Abrams, and then we'll come back and do the normal things we do when we start up. So what I would like to do right now is I need somebody, I forgot to do this. I need somebody to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Who would like to do? Randy, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now I'm going to...
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yes. The 4-5-way test. This is a good one, okay? All you got to do is read the screen. For the things we think, say, and do. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3.
Better friendships.
Number 4.
Will be beneficial to all concerned.
And of course, number 5.
Is it fun?
Right. All right. Welcome, everyone.
Okay, has everybody been greeted this morning?
Yes.
Where's Tamara? Tamara, you want to grab the mic? Do you have some words of encouragement or?
Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Yes.
So I was looking for a passage, something to read, and I came across this. It's kind of a blessing for a new year, and it just gave me a little peace at heart after I read it. So I just wanted to share it with you. May the new year bring you an abundance of amazing opportunities, beautiful moments, and joyful experiences. May your positive attitude and actions inspire others. May you be brave enough to take on and overcome rewarding challenges. May you find yourself in high spirits and excellent health. May you love with all your heart and find peace in even the most turbulent of times. May the love you give always find its way back to you multiplied. And may you forever be filled with the hope and strength necessary to make your dreams a reality. So happy to 2022.
Thank you, Tamara. We're going to, if everybody would like to be seated, we're going to start with our program right away. And Mayor Abrams, with your permission, I'm going to do a little introduction. Is that okay?
Certainly.
Okay. I'm happy to introduce Mayor Abrams, and I did a little research, and here's what the website says about her: that she was elected to the City Council of Maplewood in 2013. And she began serving in January of 2014. In January of I'm sorry, in January 14th of 2019, she was appointed mayor to fill in for a vacancy. And her term as mayor expires, I believe, at the end of 2022. So she has two sons, Zachary and Victor. She's been a Maplewood resident for 20 years, during which she has been involved in scouting, District 622 Education Foundation, Operation Dignity International, White Bear Lake Chamber of Commerce, and the Vadnais Heights Economic Development Corporation. There's one thing that's missing out of there, Mayor Abrams, and that is Rotary. But maybe someday we'll get you there. She received her Juris Doctorate from William Mitchell Law, and she has been employed, or was employed, for over 30 years as labor and employment attorney. And I believe now you're retired. Is that not true?
That is true. I retired after 37 years of practicing law.
And you're just like Terry now, you're full-time administering a city.
That's true. That's true, especially because I retired in February of 2020 and the pandemic hit March of 2020. So, yeah.
We're going to ask Mayor Abrams to give us an update on the city of Maplewood and anything else she'd like to share us with Maplewood. If we have time, we will allow some questions when she's done. So with that, Mayor Abrams, will you please enlighten this group?
Certainly. I know now that I need to update the website because I was appointed as mayor when Norris Slawick was appointed by the governor to be the chair of the Met Council. And then I was I filled out 2 years of her term, and then I had to run for election to fill out the other 2 years. And so I was elected as mayor, and now I am going to be running again because I am off. I will have served now at the end of this year 4 years as mayor. So I can't think of a better group that I would love to speak to this morning than to be talking with all of you. And I hope you're all enjoying coffee. I'm having my second cup. But I thought what I would do today is give you kind of a preview of my State of the City address. And I just filmed my State of the City address. We're doing it virtually again this year, unfortunately, because of the surge. But I thought I'd give you a little bit of a preview. And our State of the City is coming up in February. I don't remember the date right now, but it's on our city website. And there'll be a question and answer session after our State of the City as well. So that I'm really looking forward to that. But I videotaped it out at the mall, which was really kind of fun. Because maybe that's where I'm going to start today, is talking about what's happening on the North End. For some of you, maybe a little bit of background. We did a pretty robust North End vision study about what our community saw for that mall area. And I'm happy to say that it is happening, and it's really pretty exciting. The mall is really focused on entrepreneurs and incubator small businesses, particularly BIPOC business owners. And so we have a lot of small businesses, and the mall is really encouraging them to open up storefronts. Some of them, I know Bread is a storefront out there that has multiple entrepreneurs that kind of sublet space there. So it's really kind of exciting. I can tell you that the Birch Run Station, which is located right, what direction that would be, west of the mall. Everyone knows it as the strip mall that has Joanne Fabric and Burlington in there. That strip mall went into foreclosure, and it was purchased last fall by an investment group. And I have to say that we had more than 80 different investment groups and investors that were interested in that property. So it's really pretty exciting. The group that purchased it are interested. You've probably noticed, if you've been out there, that some of the stores are closing, and that's because the plan is to kind of remove half of that mall and it's a very, very large parking lot, take that part of the parking lot and either do one of two things, either develop housing there and then green space out in that sea of asphalt, which I think would be very welcomed, or there's also the possibility that more medical groups, including St. John's Hospital, would be interested in expanding in that space. Now, what that means, if any of you have driven back there, St. John's Boulevard is the road that goes nowhere. It stops. It's kind of an awkward little road, but one of the goals of the North End study was to get that road to go all the way through. And that's looking like that's going to become a reality, and that will actually connect then the mall area with St. John's, and it will go through. Exciting news about St. John's Hospital. St. John's has always been a wonderful community hospital, and with the closure of St. Joe's and the realignment with mHealth Fairview, St. John's is now going to be what they call a tertiary hospital, which means that it will be a regional hospital, similar to, I say, like a Southdale Fairview or I'm trying to think of the other one, Abbott Hospital. If you've been out to St. John's or driven by, maybe you haven't even noticed it, but they have been building upwards, not outwards, but upwards. When the hospital was originally built, they envisioned that they wanted to be able to go up. And so what they're putting out there on other floors is a significant heart cath lab. And they're also going to be bringing the NICU out there. So it really will be a regional hospital. And so the city has kind of introduced the hospital over to the new owners of Birch Run, and they will make whatever decisions they make, but we're really getting that reputation as being a medical hub. And so that's really pretty exciting, and knowing that we will have a regional hospital there is great too. Other good news, just recently, the Toys R Us building that I used to shop at, and I used to be there the day after Thanksgiving, out there early in the morning, because my kids wanted something, for Christmas that was very special. But that building has been kind of sad because it's been closed for some time when Toys R Us closed. That has been purchased by Becker Furniture, and that is going to be redone as a Becker Furniture store. So that really is kind of exciting. I'm trying to think, we've got Raising Cane's that I don't believe that they are open yet, but we're going to have the chicken wars out there because we have Chick-fil-A and Raising Cane's right across the street from each other. And I understand from people who really, really love fast food chicken restaurants, that people are either a real big proponent. It's kind of like the Starbucks Caribou. Which one do you like the best? So some people really love Raising Cane's. Some people really love Chick-fil-A, but we will have both of them right across the street from each other out at the mall. So we have some really exciting things happening there. In terms of the housing front, I have a little story that something since I've been on the council has really bothered me. That I noticed on my way to City Hall that I drive by a vacant house. And I look at that house and I think, we need to get a family into that house. How can we accomplish that? Well, we're doing something about it. What we're doing is through our Economic Development Authority, which is also the City Council. Our Economic Development Authority has an initiative that I don't know that we've necessarily named it, but what we're going to do is address scattered site redevelopment. So what that means is we've asked staff, we already have, excuse me, a list of homes that are vacant in our community that really, you know, make a neighborhood a little bit sad. And so, they're forlorn. We need to get families into those homes and really revitalize those neighborhoods. And so we have staff working right now identifying all of the vacant properties in the city. And our EDA is going to be embarking on a project where we're going to start small. We're going to start with one house, and we're going to look at rehabbing that house. We are going to look at home ownership and that we can help families build wealth by starting out in a home. We're going to focus on underserved and underrepresented homeowners and help them get into homes. Now, I don't know what all the details are going to look like, but we are starting with that. We are going to be hot on the heels of the county. You probably know Ramsey County adopted for most cities except North St. Paul, and I believe there's one other city too, an HRA levy that we are all going to be paying this year, and we're going to be paying into it every year after this. That we want to tap into some of that HRA money in order to purchase more homes and figure out how we can rehab those homes and get families back into those homes. Now, one of the things that we've done is we are partnering with the U of M Carlson School of Business. We have a class that started of graduate students in January, and they're focused on housing in communities. And so this group of graduate students is going to be helping us with the research, with setting up the plan, looking at what's happening in other communities, what works, what doesn't work, and working closely with us on how we can get this started. You know, we're trying to bring in as many resources, local resources as we can. I want to see if we can maybe partner with Century College. I know that they have a lot of trades programs out there, and wouldn't that be great? Pick a house, and, you know, they're training plumbers and electricians, and let's get students out there working at a real place and give them that experience. So I am really excited about that. And we are, the city council is going to be, we're going to be using some of our own city funds. And the amount is, I'm trying to remember how much. It's a little bit over $300,000 that we are going to commit to this to get started. And we want to start small, and we want to grow this program. So that's one thing that I'm particularly excited about it, and I can't wait. I hope that the house that I drive by is one of the first ones that gets worked on, because I want to see a family there. Some other things in terms of housing, we have, excuse me, 3 different projects that are proposed for the Frost English area, for Frost Avenue. Pretty exciting projects. 2 of them are looking for tax credits, and we'll be finding out very soon if they get the tax credits from the federal government. There will be, it'll be mixed housing. There will be some market rates, some affordable housing. There will be some housing that is dedicated to working with supportive housing for those who may be homeless or be unsheltered at this time. So it's a variety. I don't know what the mix is ultimately going to be, because obviously being able to pencil out those projects, the developers have to make all of that work. But we're pretty excited about the housing that will be happening over the next couple of years. We have a senior cooperative that is going to be, it's been approved by the council over on Lake Phelan. And that is going to be, once I understand they have 60% of the units purchased, then that will be built probably within the next 2 years. So that's pretty close in that same particular, Frost English. It's just on East Shore Drive. that's really exciting. We have another housing project going on. We sold our fire station down on London Lane because we didn't need it anymore. You know, we've made over the last, well, my time on the council, we have made some significant investments into our fire and EMS department, going from what years ago used to be a volunteer firefighting unit to today, all of our firefighters are full-time. And so we don't need to have, I think at one time, Maplewood actually had 5 fire stations. You know, that was designed when people had to come from their homes. They'd get the call, they're volunteers, they, you know, come from local businesses or come, you know, from their homes, go to the fire station. We don't need that anymore. So we have sold our London Lane station, and that is going to be a housing unit, multiple family housing as well. So that's pretty exciting. You know, we're taking very seriously a shortage of housing and trying to do everything we can. I think it's very important that we have housing in all price points. That is a really important investment for our community. So that's kind of on the housing front. Excuse me. In terms of public safety, we have some really exciting things happening there. Excuse me, boy, that coffee is good in the morning, isn't it? In terms of our public safety department, we, several years ago, I want to say it was now 3 years ago, we had started what was called the MHOT team, Mental Health Outreach Team. And they were specially trained fire and police officers to specifically address mental health issues. And they did an awful lot of documentation, looking at numbers, what do we need to do? How can we connect people who are having a mental health crisis with the services that they need? And working with, as a city, we don't have a we don't have a Health and Human Services department. We rely on Ramsey County. They have a huge Health and Human Services department. So they're really the ones that provide those services. So what I was hearing from our public safety officers was that, it's really hard for an officer who's on duty and they have a mental health crisis situation. How do we get this individual connected with services? Are they homeless? Do they need hospitalization? Do they need some type of chemical dependency? They are not mental health professionals. And so we partnered with Ramsey County on what I was proposing to Ramsey County was a trial basis, because I wanted Ramsey County to pay for the social worker. And we met with their Health and Human Services and our Public Safety Department and Commissioner Reinhardt, Commissioner Trista Mattis-Castillo, and talked about this, that we would really like an embedded social worker in our police department. We want to decriminalize mental health issues. And, I was pitching it as, let's do this as a trial, because I thought that would make it a little bit more palatable. But the county said, well, that's a great idea. Let's do it. And so our first social worker, Amy, started last April. And she's a Ramsey County employee. And she is embedded right in our public safety department. And so she will go out on calls with officers. She will do follow-up. She knows the county system, so she can connect people with the services that they need. And I have to tell you that, for the number of times that I go over to City Hall and I run into police officers or firefighters, staff, I hear so many amazing stories about what a game changer it is to have that social worker on staff. that at the end of last year, now Amy started in April of 2021, and by the end of the year, we realized, oh my word, this is a no-brainer. This is changing the way that our public safety officers can deliver services. And so we have retained a second Ramsey County social worker, and we are using some of our ARPA funds for that. And we just see it as this is the way that we absolutely need to deliver public safety services. And it's totally changing our community. It is it's amazing, absolutely amazing. Let's see, we have one thing that may be kind of interesting to people is that all of our staff, not just public safety, but all of our staff are required to engage in our community. Now, you could view it as they're volunteering. They're getting paid for it. It's paid time, but that's how much we are committed to building bridges in our community. That the staff, they could be volunteering to deliver Meals on Wheels. I happen to know that our city manager, that's one of the things that she does, is she delivers Meals on Wheels to elderly in our community. Public safety officers are they're working with, and other staff too, not just public safety, with little Big Brothers, the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. They are partnering with children, young children in our school district. They are attending, they are so creative when it comes to a lot of public engagement opportunities. Our public safety department put together a Backpack for Kids program to get them equipped for school. They put together a citywide program with the Angel Tree program, identifying seniors and kids at Christmas time to identify gifts, things that they needed. And so they put out a call for anyone, council members. I participated in it. It was really fun. I got to purchase gifts for an 87-year-old woman who wanted a cozy blanket and she wanted some socks. And so, I included a little note for her. And so everyone got to do that. And as a result, we touched the lives of 165 seniors and kids in the community. And I have to tell you that our public safety department got together and they wrapped all of the gifts and delivered them. So that was a really nice touch. I'm really proud of that. I think the numbers that I saw that was last year, 2,200 hours of time was, and I say donated, the staff are being paid for it, of course, but they're reaching out, and that is their commitment to work in the community and volunteer their time. And they get to pick, what is it? Where do you want to meet with the community? Where do you want to be a bridge in the community? And it is a really successful program. We are, I think that it just makes us much friendlier, more approachable. And I really think that this is a great program. We were the first city on this side of the river to have a MAC. That's what we call it. It's our Multicultural Advisory Committee. The west side of the river has MACs. And what a MAC is, it is a representative from each diverse group in our community that has committed to serving and working with our public safety department. So they meet on a monthly basis. They are instrumental in developing our public safety strategic plan. They go through they do ride-alongs, they do kind of mini training programs to understand the work of our public safety department. And they meet as I said, on a monthly basis, we have utilized representatives from the MAC in our hiring process. We promoted a Lieutenant Beardeman, this last summer to replace our retiring chief of police. And our MAC sat in on the hiring process. They were in for the interview panels. They help us with policy making. They are a bridge to our community, and it really is, it's phenomenal. I've attended, I think, 2 of the MAC meetings, and it's great to see us making that bridge in our community. One thing that I have done is I reach out and meet with our faith community. It's been challenging during the pandemic because I'm very much a people person. I would really rather be in person, but we have had several Zoom meetings with our faith community. But when I became mayor, I realized that the thing that would keep me up at night was what would happen in our community if we had a tornado, if we had a major storm, if we had some type of a major fire or, a police shooting or, any kind of thing that can happen in our community. Who can I count on and call and say, can you come out to this? We're going to be clearing out, cutting down trees and shrubs and all that kind of whatever, as a result of this storm. Can you come out and bring sandwiches? If we need to reach out, I wanted to be able to reach out to our faith community, and they have been absolutely instrumental. We did a food distribution with the Farm to Families program last year, and I was able to call our faith community. They came out and picked up boxes of food, and they then delivered them to people who worship at their place of worship, many of whom are immigrants. We are a very diverse city, second to St. Paul in Ramsey County, not only in size, but in diversity. We have very large Hmong churches in our community. We have a Karen place of worship. We have a mosque. We have a Catholic church. We just have a variety of denominations. So bringing them together has been really helpful. One of the things we did with them, and we've actually done it twice now because it was so popular, once in person, once on Zoom, we did a thing with our public safety department, how to stay safe in your places of worship, and worked out with them, gave them a template on what to do should there be an emergency, should there be and it's everything from a bomb threat to a child abduction, to an active shooter, to a storm event. But they have a template that they can bring into their place of worship, and they know then what they need to do immediately, how, to call the police. And it was just very well attended and very well received. We just had that terrorist attack at the synagogue out in, I'm trying to remember the state now. Was it New York? Unfortunately, these happen too frequently. Where was it?
Texas.
Texas.
Texas. Yeah. Thank you. Texas. And so we, one of the things that they talked about, at least I've seen it in the news, is that they had training on what to do in an emergency situation. And so we have partnered with our faith community in order to do that, to give them those skills and that knowledge on what to do should something happen. And in return, when the city needs something or we want to partner with them for this food distribution, we had several thousand boxes of food that we were all lined up in the at our community center, and the faith community came, and it was just absolutely amazing. It was open to anyone who needed food, and they were boxes of fresh food, apples and milk and cheese and potatoes, and it was the Farm to Families program. It was absolutely fantastic. We did that last November, and it was really quite amazing. Let's see. I am such a cheerleader for Maplewood. I could just go on and on and on about some of the amazing things that we're doing. And I know you only meet until 8 o'clock, right? So that's kind of a highlight of some of the things that are happening in Maplewood. There are so many others that I know that, I've got, I think my speech was, I covered so many other topics. We are working on diversity in our city hiring. Let's see. There's so much. So
Mayor Abram,
yes.
If you could, Brian Buckmeyer, maybe we could take a couple questions.
Oh, absolutely. I could go on and on. I'm telling you, we got a lot of great stuff happening.
All right. Any questions, anybody?
Yep. I have a question.
Randy. Shar, would you like to?
Sure. I have several questions. You can pick and choose. I was wondering if in Maplewood there is a developmental commercial kitchen, so that people who are trying to start businesses in the food industry or food area have a place to rent or go, because commercial kitchens are very hard to find. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering if that's part of the development plan for the city of Maplewood. And I'm also wondering about wind energy. I have this vision of all these houses having a little wind tunnel on top of them for generating alternate electricity. And the third one is Washington County has a program for the homeless, and they have social workers actually placing homeless people in Ramsey County. I'm wondering if Maplewood has something similar to that.
Great question. Okay. I am not aware that we have a kitchen, a commercial kitchen that, I'm just not aware of that. The person maybe to talk to would be Molly Wellens. You could find her on our city website. She is our health inspector. We have our own health inspector in the city, and she inspects all of our restaurants and kitchens. She might be someone that knows that. In terms of a wind farm, there has been some discussion about a wind farm, about where would we do that? What would we do? We certainly are. I mean, we are, a small group of cities we are the 5th step in the Green Step City program. We are green and sustainable, and we really focus on that. I think we're one of the only cities that has a climate adaptation plan that we have adopted as a council, and that can be found on our city website. But right now we don't have a wind farm, but that's certainly not out of the realm of things, because we are so focused on sustainability. We have our own environmental staff that works for us, Sean Finwall. And so it's probably on the horizon, but we don't have it right now. In terms of programs for the homeless, absolutely, yes, we do. I serve on the governing board of the continuum of care with Ramsey County called Heading Home Ramsey. And the one thing about working with our 2 social workers, we have made a real effort concerning homelessness in our community. I can tell you that we have, as of last week, 8 homeless or unsheltered folks that we were aware of as staff, or the staff were aware of and were working with. They were helping them fill out all of the extensive Ramsey County paperwork to get housing. One of them was going into an apartment as of last week, and they were working with 3 others. One thing that we all need to recognize about homelessness is that that isn't maybe one of their only issues, that they are struggling with mental health issues, chemical dependency issues. And we do know that we have several that have, that do not want to go into shelter, but we continue to work with them, try to connect them with services. We have, I would say, some of the most compassionate staff that bring them food, that touch base with them, that are trying very hard to work with them. So yes, we have, that is definitely on the forefront. And my work with the Heading Home Ramsey and working with our 2 social workers on connecting people with services is really at the core of all of that. So thank you for this question.
We have another question from Brandy Comfort.
Hi, Mayor. Again,
hi,
Comfort, and I just wanted to say thank you for coming this morning. We've been talking as a club about trying to be more connected with, it is the North St. Paul Maplewood Oakdale Club, Rotary Club. Many of the things you talked about, we are also involved in doing. I would love to see, to get some input from you or some guidance from you as how we can be more connected and supportive of the things the city's doing, because there's so many of them are very similar to what we are. And maybe we're involved in too. Looking for maybe a future meeting, perhaps, to have a kind of some planning to see how we can do that, or if you can direct us to who we should meet with to be more connected with Maplewood. And we'd love to be a part of a lot of the things you're talking about are things we're involved in too. So I don't see it as a real reach for some partnership. And I love that you're here, and I love that we could maybe try to make this grow a little bit in the future too.
And if I could add on to that, Randy, in the past, we've had club members from the city of Maplewood, as we do from North St. Paul. And that's been a real asset for us to coordinate programs, to do things in communities. And I think in the future, it would really be nice to have a member of the Maplewood staff be part of Rotary. So, and we would very much welcome that.
Thank you for that. And yes, I think partnerships and how we can work together, that's what really makes communities thrive and improves the quality of life for everybody. So yeah, I think partnerships are absolutely critical. Feel free to call me. My phone number is on the city's website. Give me a call and maybe we can meet for coffee. Yeah,